Let's bring in BuzzFeed President John Steinberg. Are we being a little bit unfair? 5 most miserable moments. Come on, as you said, we all use it.
Well, you know,
with the exception of me and Brian, but everyone else uses it.
Man, you know the irony of it is, I talked to one of your producers before coming on. That video is not on your front page right now, but it's one of the highest traffic clips on CNBC.com, and that's because of social traffic. And that really is a testament to how much media has changed. So in their defense, yes, I mean, the usage is really through the roof. Monthly active users versus daily active users at an all-time high, so the engagement is still there.
How do we define engagement monetarily, Gene? Because, listen, I was on Facebook, and it was neat. And I got bored of looking at pictures of my friends' kids, and I looked at ads. I never clicked on one. They didn't encourage me to buy anything. I don't think they monetized me whatsoever. How do they actually make money from people? Just looking at something doesn't mean you're monetizing it.
Well, even if you don't look at the ad, they can still charge you for even showing that ad. So as you flip through your news feed and shoot past some of those newsfeed ads, they still get paid on that. So that's one thing. Again, they get about $10 per user per year this year. Google's at $50. Obviously, it'll never get close to Google, but there is an opportunity to close that gap. We did calls with major advertisers recently, and they all still are really learning how to really advertise.
Well, why
on Facebook,
though, Gene? The click-through rate is what, 0.001% or something to this effect?
The sponsor stories have a very high click-through rate, several digits of percentages. And the brand advertising market is actually much larger than the direct advertising market. Social is the future. That is the way that people get all of their content now, all of their media. If you believe brand advertising has a future, you have to believe that this company's going to figure it out.
Mind you, if we take a more macro view of the sector here, I mean, Ken, to what degree is the Facebook experience perhaps put off other social media or new tech-related IPOs from happening? And for example, when you've got a big name like Twitter thinking about also doing an IPO, what do you think the single biggest thing they should learn from Facebook's experience?
Well, I think one thing that's clear is that not all social is the same. And I think when you look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn has done extremely well as a stock post-IPO. And I think the difference maybe between a LinkedIn and a Facebook is that we understand the power of, I think, social, and we're all drawing from that communication, but doesn't mean necessarily that there's a marketplace that exists or that communication is necessarily going to drive purchase behavior.
I really push back on this idea of social, though, John, because I hear what you're saying. This is everything. This is the internet now. There is no social. Right. This is what the internet is, and therefore it's just a bunch of people looking at stuff. Well, it's also which is effectively what TV was 40 years ago. Right. TV hours viewed are up, right? Yep. So people aren't leaving TV.
Well, also it's an aging demographic that's on television, and when you look at the proportion of youth that are on Facebook, Facebook is basically word of mouth, right? If you believe that word of mouth marketing is going to continue to be something that people are going to refer products to one another, that's effectively what Facebook is now.
Yeah, but Facebook doesn't teach you about the product. It just shows you a picture of it. You can't use something on Facebook, therefore you can't recommend it because you've never used it.
Right, but if you look at the great advertising of David Ogilvy, if you look at advertorials and brands communicating what their products actually do, Facebook allows for that platform almost more than television ever actually did.
Do you think Facebook's going to be around in 5-10 years, Gene?
Absolutely, they're going to be around in 5-10 years. How relevant they're going to be, is there going to be other forms of social that are going to take share from them? I think that's the better question, but Facebook definitely is going to be here.
John, Gene, Ken, thank you all for weighing in.
All right, up next, the housing expert who says we are in the calm before a really big development storm.
Plus, America's most honest athlete, and earlier on